It was a cold January morning in 1984 when something truly inexplicable happened in Daytona Beach, Florida. A young man, just 19 years old, woke up like any other day, ate breakfast, dropped his younger brother off at school, and drove to his university for class. But within hours, he vanished without a trace. Days turned into weeks, then months, and still no answers surfaced. And here's the kicker, he reappeared 10 years later, frozen solid inside a block of ice in the middle of a Wisconsin forest. How did he get there? What happened during those missing years? The mystery only deepens from here. Hey friends, you're in Dreamcatcher Stories, your cozy corner for stories that got lost along the way. Hit me up in the comments and tell me how this one hits you. Now, let's get sneaky and peek behind the curtain. The story begins in Daytona Beach, a quiet coastal town where life moves steadily under the warm Florida sun. Our protagonist lived an ordinary life with his family in a modest home near the beach. He was studying aeronautical mathematics, a subject as intricate as it sounds, and seemed destined for greatness. Friends described him as intelligent, ambitious, and kind-hearted. His days followed a predictable rhythm. Wake up early, take care of responsibilities, and focus on academics. Nothing about him suggested someone who would vanish into thin air or end up encased in ice hundreds of miles away. On January 24th, 1984, everything appeared normal. He started his day by heading downstairs, grabbing a quick bite to eat, and driving his younger brother Frank to school. After dropping him off, he made his way across town to the university campus. Witnesses confirmed seeing him park his car and walk toward the building where his classes were held. Yet, as soon as he stepped out of sight, something went terribly wrong. No one saw him again after that moment. His belongings remained untouched in his car, including his textbooks, wallet, and keys. It was as if he had simply evaporated into thin air. At first, authorities dismissed the disappearance as a potential runaway case. They speculated he might have left voluntarily due to stress or personal issues. However, those closest to him knew better. He wouldn't just leave, said a close friend during interviews. He cared too much about his family and his studies. As days stretched into weeks, panic set in among loved ones. Flyers were distributed, search parties organized, and pleas aired on local news channels, all to no avail. The oceanfront community rallied together, scouring nearby woods, beaches, and neighborhoods, but not a single clue emerged. Let's rewind to understand what made this case so baffling. Timothy wasn't reckless or prone to disappearing acts. In fact, he was meticulous, always planning ahead and keeping everyone informed of his whereabouts. Neighbors recalled seeing him regularly jogging along the coastline, waving hello to passers-by. His professors praised his dedication to learning, noting how often he stayed late to ask questions or clarify concepts. To everyone who knew him, Timothy represented stability, a beacon of reliability in uncertain times. So why did he vanish so suddenly? And why did all attempts to locate him fail? Then came the twist. Exactly 10 years later, in 1994, hunters stumbled upon a shocking discovery deep within the Chickamauga-Nicolet National Forest in northern Wisconsin. There, partially buried beneath layers of snow and debris, lay a massive block of ice containing a human body perfectly preserved inside. Authorities identified the remains as belonging to none other than Timothy Molnar, the same teenager who disappeared a decade earlier. Initial examinations revealed no signs of trauma, poisoning, or illness. Instead, his body exhibited symptoms consistent with hypothermia, suggesting exposure to extreme cold temperatures shortly before death. But how did he travel over 1,300 miles from Florida to Wisconsin? Why was he found frozen solid despite being last seen alive in mild weather conditions? As investigators delved deeper into the case, they uncovered anomalies that defied logical explanation. For instance, Timothy's clothes showed no signs of wear or tear, indicating he hadn't wandered far once exposed to freezing temperatures. Additionally, dental records confirmed the body belonged to Timothy, yet certain details didn't align with known timelines. One theory posited he may have fallen victim to foul play, possibly kidnapped and transported against his will. Others speculated involvement from covert government operations experimenting with cryogenic technology. Whatever the truth, evidence pointed toward events far stranger than anyone could have imagined. Public fascination with the case skyrocketed almost overnight. True crime enthusiasts flocked to online forums, dissecting every detail available while debating possible explanations. Social media platforms buzzed with theories ranging from credible analyses to wild speculation. Among them was Brian Carter, a self-taught programmer who applied advanced algorithms to decode patterns hidden within archived materials related to similar disappearances nationwide. His findings drew widespread attention, suggesting connections between Timothy's case and broader criminal networks operating throughout rural America during the same period. Are we looking at isolated incidents or part of something larger? Meanwhile, amateur sleuths joined professional detectives in piecing together fragments of information. Podcasts dedicated to exploring Timothy's life and disappearance reached millions, sparking debates among listeners eager to solve the riddle themselves. Episodes examining societal factors contributing to such tragedies resonated strongly with audiences navigating uncertain times. Could such a mind exist today, armed with modern tools and access to classified systems? Host Paul Hayes posed this question rhetorically during the season finale of Time's Unraveling Genius*, leaving listeners pondering implications long after the episode aired. Fast forward to 2023, and advancements in forensic technology offer unprecedented opportunities for analyzing large data sets related to Timothy's case. Using machine learning models, researchers sifted through thousands of pages of archived material, flagging patterns previously overlooked by human eyes. Their findings suggest ties between Timothy's activities and similar disappearances worldwide, hinting at organized crime or rogue governmental factions. Could he have stumbled upon information threatening national security, triggering his elimination? Or was his fate tied to personal demons haunting him long before that fateful night? One breakthrough stood out above the rest: a notebook filled with hand-drawn diagrams depicting geometric shapes resembling crop circles. Inside, annotations referenced concepts borrowed directly from quantum theory, including mentions of black holes and multiverse theory. Experts struggled to interpret their meaning, though many agreed they pointed toward experimentation with untested scientific principles. Did he truly believe he could unlock doors to alternate realities? Or was this simply the product of mental instability exacerbated by pressure from his demanding career? By now, you might think the story ends here, but it doesn't. In recent years, new developments reignited interest in the case. Forensic genealogy techniques identified relatives linked to DNA profiles discovered near the crime scene, prompting authorities to revisit old leads. Investigators traced these connections back to individuals known to associate with underground organizations specializing in illegal technology trade. Could these groups have played a role in his death? If so, why target someone seemingly disconnected from their operations? Amidst growing intrigue, amateur sleuths joined professional detectives in piecing together fragments of information. Podcasts dedicated to exploring his life and crimes reached millions, sparking debates among listeners eager to solve the riddle themselves. Episodes examining societal factors contributing to his descent into madness resonated strongly with audiences navigating uncertain times. Could such a mind exist today, armed with modern tools and access to classified systems? Host Paul Hayes posed this question rhetorically during the season finale of Time's Unraveling Genius*, leaving listeners pondering implications long after the episode aired. 2 years later, Researchers announced they had decoded messages embedded in artwork created during his final days. Sophisticated image recognition software identified recurring themes tied to specific locations and dates corresponding to known events in his life. This revelation suggested he may have left deliberate clues intended to taunt authorities even beyond the grave. Was he playing games right up until the end? Emily Carter, a forensic psychologist assigned to analyze his psychological profile, mused aloud during a private meeting with colleagues. Her voice cracked slightly, betraying exhaustion mixed with awe at the complexity of their subject. Atmosphere shifted dramatically as public interest surged once again. Forums buzzed with discussions, piecing together timelines and debating theories. Conversations ranged from speculative musings to well-researched arguments supported by hard data. One member, Amanda Grant, gained prominence when she identified similarities between his disappearance and other unsolved cases involving individuals with exceptional intellectual abilities. Her findings prompted renewed scrutiny of potential links between genius minds and clandestine operations. Families affected by similar losses gather annually to honor their loved ones, finding solace in shared memories and unwavering determination. "We won't stop fighting," says Linda Hayes during a memorial service held near North Wales. Her voice cracks with emotion, underscoring the personal stakes involved. And so, the legend persists not merely as a relic of the past, but as a testament to human resilience in the face of incomprehensible evil. And there we go. Another memory back from the dark. Don't go too far. I've got more mysteries itching to be told. What do you think happened to Timothy? Let me know in the comments below. Your thoughts matter, and they shape the stories I share next. So go ahead, type it out, and hit send. I'll see you there.